Zingmond, and I work for InsideSchools.org at the Center for New York City Fairs.
Sorry, I'm going to stop you. This is the only guy that's here.
Okay, sorry.
We don't exist now.
All right, so it's do-over? Okay. All right.
Hi, what is your name and tell us your organization, please?
I'm Laura Zingmond, and I work for Inside Schools at the Center for New York City Affairs at the New School.
And what's all this about, this Impact Summit? What brought you here today?
Well, firstly, an invitation, but Inside Schools actually partners with PASSNYC, so that's how we got the invitation. But we are deeply involved with New York City Public Schools. We're actually a comprehensive guide to New York City Public Schools on the web. We visit hundreds of schools each year. I've personally visited probably over 400 schools by now in all boroughs at all levels. We advise parents on the admissions process, on what to look for to identify a good school, and how to advocate to improve your own child's school. We also, at the Center for New York City Affairs, also have focus on policy, and we have a big education policy initiative, and one of them is diversity in schools. And so we approach it from all angles, and while increasing diversity at the specialized high schools is one small part of the bucket of improving education, it is a highly visible one, and it is an important one because it is access to top schools for some kids who may not have a neighborhood school that's good. And so, well, some kids have an abundance of choice of good schools, other kids may not. And so that may be their one shot at a really good, challenging school.
So can you share in terms of Inside Schools, what is the value of an organization like PASSNYC? What are they doing to help to improve education, help to open up avenues? How are they fitting into the puzzle?
So, bringing people together is I think, and creating a structure for a good dialogue, not just about criticism, keeping us focused and on task to move forward, sharing ideas, and then synthesizing it into fixable, identifying the sort of fixable problems and the solutions for them.
And so tell me some of your takeaways from this event. You mentioned fixable items. Did you find that was happening here today? Or were they addressing things that are fixable?
Yes, I mean, I think that it was a very focused on the specialized high schools, and that is a good way to start it. Sometimes you have to start with a small focus thing. I know at our table we actually sort of expanded to improving quality and of all the schools, which would then increase access to stronger schools, but it can start by highlighting one problem. And I felt that we came from different backgrounds. There's some people who work directly with kids or oversaw an organization supporting kids in a community, test prep. Some that are doing a combination of both. I had a former principal at my table too, so just a parent activist. So we all came from different backgrounds, but all committed to the same goals. We all shared the same goals, but we all had our own anecdotes and are all perspective.
Were you inspired?
Yes.
What is there any action items that you can take forward tomorrow and start plugging in, or reaching out for someone, or connecting with?
Well, one, I did meet some people here, and we will be connecting. Our table, we felt strongly about community awareness because we felt that if people don't know the opportunities out there, it's very hard to increase the opportunity. And then sort of some of the other things take care of themselves, at least partially, when you increase awareness. And we wanted to tackle it like one, better training in the school for not just a guidance counselor, but having a lot of people at the school who understand the high school admission process. So this would be for middle school staff, but also at the elementary school level to understand what's coming down the pike. So that was one thing. Another very concrete thing was just give every kid a specialized high school or exam or Shazat diagnostic test in 7th grade, so they understand where they are. And it might be not a great outcome for some kids. It might be a surprising outcome for others, but it introduces kids to what it is. It gives them a benchmark, and maybe for some who might not otherwise consider taking it, a new goal.
One last question. One last question.
Sure.
I just went blank. One last question. What was your favorite item? What was your favorite activity today?
Well, other than the opening meditation and mindfulness, which I thought was wonderful and refreshing, I really enjoyed the brainstorming at the end. It was just an honor to hear from Hazel Dukes and Harold Levy, two amazing people who really both had a lot to share, and I was grateful to be in the room and hear them, but also just people who are in the trenches like me, and we all had our own anecdotes and all perspectives, and we were all very impressed with each other. So we weren't all just parroting each other, but we all sort of knew things that the other person didn't know, and that's my kind of crowd, because that's how I learn, so that's how everyone learns.
Laura, thank you so much for your words and your attendance.
Thank you. Thank you very much for hosting this wonderful event.